An East Haven woman who was found dead behind a restaurant in Brantford earlier this summer.
I know. What a strange combination. What does this homicide at LaMonaco's restaurant have to do with one of the top NFL coaches? Well, we're about to find out together.
I have a lot, and I mean a lot of stories from working in the news industry. Some good, some bad, and some very, very ugly stories. But this story I'm about to tell you today is one that sticks out to me the most, and I will never forget it. And that's honestly why I'm making this video today, is so I never, ever lose this memory. But before I continue and get into our story today, I only have two things to tell you guys. If you are new here, hi, how are you? My name is Griffin Pierson, and this is a little series I like to call My First Time. It is a story time series, basically, that I tell you my first time experiencing things in my life. Maybe you guys could relate, and I doubt honestly you could relate to this one, but it definitely was a first for me. So please consider hitting that subscribe button down below, and let's get right into number two. Number two, homicides, anything in that nature on a more serious note is not funny to me at all. It's just a situation that happened when it comes to how Bill Belichick and a murder behind a dumpster at a local Italian restaurant intertwine. Now that those are out of the way, let's get right onto the story. So let me start from the beginning, and I'm not talking about way in the beginning of my career, but I've been in the news industry for about 3 years now, so I've seen a lot of things, like a lot. I see murders, I see suicides, I see rapes. I don't actually see them with my eyes, but we go to these scenes and it's not pretty. It's very sad. There's a lot of downs, and there's also a lot of ups in this industry as well. Very frustrating at times, very stressful, but I feel like every other job is too at the same time. We all have our pros and cons. The week prior, we went to a missing woman scene. Basically, there was a report of a missing woman. No one has seen her. The typical missing person scene we go to. That day goes by, we do our story, and the next week comes, we don't hear anything, and we do a follow-up story, and no one's heard anything from her. So that story becomes a thing of the past for a little bit until we get some more information, and then we rehash the story later on as time goes on. Hey, future me, currently I'm editing the video right now, and I know as a viewer you're probably like,
where does Belichick come in? Get to the point.
Here it is. Bill Belichick was in a few towns over from me shooting a Subway commercial, and that's big news for Connecticut. Overall, Connecticut as a state has nothing to offer but that at the time, so a lot of people knew about it. It went crazy on Twitter, people went crazy for it, but I will say one thing we do have to offer. And as stated by the man himself, New Haven is the pizza capital of the US. And that's a fact. But anyway, back to Bill Belichick. Annie and I went over to the Subway location that they were shooting at, and there he was, Bill Belichick, at a local town. A lot of people there, caused a lot of ruckus. It was wild, a lot of pictures, and like I said, a lot of things went viral. So that's where Bill Belichick comes into this. But how do these two intertwine? How does a top NFL coach ever and a missing woman come together? Like, how do they go together? The next day came along, a normal day, except this day I was solo, and what that means is when you're solo, you work by yourself, you go around shooting breaking news, and if I'm not solo, I'm working with a reporter 9 times out of 10. So in the beginning of the day, there was a few shootings around the state. I finished what I had to do, so I went to go sit in my car, and what do you know? We get a call to our desk, and when I refer to the desk, it's the people that go call us to tell us what to do and where to go. That's what we call them, the desk. All-seeing eye of where we have to go in Connecticut. The desk calls me, says I need to go to this restaurant. And actually the funny thing is, my friend Danny, who you guys have seen before, he texted me and goes, hey man, what's going on at LaMonaco's, which is the local Italian restaurant in the town that Belichick was in the day before. I said, I don't know, nothing crazy, I would imagine, because like it's LaMonaco's, nothing ever happens there. So then I get the call, maybe 30, 40 minutes later, saying that they found a body behind a dumpster. This body was murdered, and it was buried behind a dumpster on what we call the Hill. And the Hill is a big retail hill, and there's a lot of cameras there, and I don't know why anybody would bury a body there, but that's not a place I'd bury a body. I'm not saying I'm a murderer, I would never kill anybody, but I'm just saying not the smartest idea. Regardless, and when I rolled up over there, it was like I showed up to a Metallica concert or a concert for the biggest band in the world. There was no parking. Everybody was there in town, like everybody. This was bigger than Belichick. This is unheard of for the Italian restaurant. So after I found parking, I got out to go shoot it, and as I'm shooting it, there's a lot of other news crews over there. There's a lot of people gawking at what's going on. Across the street, there's a bank, and the bank was closed, but the parking lot was filled. There's people parking on the grass. People had nothing else to do that night except to see what was going on at LaMonaco's. No word about any reporters coming down that night, which was really like a big deal. There was speculation going around that it was the missing woman from the week prior when we did the missing woman story. We didn't know though for sure, but I did say to the desk, I said, send a crew down because they're going to need to do a story on this. I have a feeling it is this woman. Send a crew down. Fine, I'm shooting something we call VO, or in simpler terms, it's B-roll. You shoot the scene, you shoot what's going on around the scene, anything that you think you can air on TV, you shoot it. You couldn't see a body because it was being blocked by the dumpster, but it was clear they found something because when state police is involved, it's huge. Like you'll know when there's a body on scene and they discover something. So now this is where Belichick comes in. I'm sitting there shooting my VO, my B-roll, and I'm looking through the viewfinder on my camera, and I get some guy that walks behind me on the phone with God knows who. And all you hear is, bro, I don't see Belichick anywhere. Like anywhere. There's all this commotion. I don't see him. Maybe is he? No, I don't see it. He's not behind the dumpster. Bro, literally, I don't see him anywhere. I don't see Belichick. I can't, where is he?
So I turn around and I say, buddy, I hate to burst your bubble, but
What's that?
this is a murder scene. This is a murder scene. And from that day forward, I've never seen a man turn around so fast out of embarrassment and walk away in shame.
Why the hell would Belichick be at LaMonaco's restaurant behind a damn dumpster? What person in the right mind would think Belichick is behind a dumpster at LaMonaco's restaurant? Obviously, this person knew Belichick was in town. Shooting a Subway commercial. There's not even a Subway in a 2-mile radius of this place. I turn around and I was kind of in disbelief, but I was like kind of laughing because like this guy showed up in his Patriots jersey. My man got ready in his Patriots jersey to come see Belichick at LaMonaco's restaurant behind the dumpster. I didn't want to be the guy to burst his bubble, basically to tell him that he missed Belichick yesterday, but I had to be because it just was just. I don't know. Like I'm speechless to this day, but I think it's funny. Like it's funny. My man got ready to go meet Belichick behind a dumpster at LaMonaco's. He knew that Belichick was definitely not at LaMonaco's. And I can honestly say that was my first time experiencing somebody mistake a murder scene for a Bill Belichick Subway commercial behind a dumpster at LaMonaco's. And again, I gotta rehash, the murder was not funny. That's horrible. I feel horrible for that family because we followed up plenty of times with that story and found out all on the website. It's just, that situation, you can't make that up. But I have plenty of other stories too, and if you'd like to hear some more, please let me know down below in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video at all today, make sure to smash that thumbs up button down below and hit the subscribe button. We have plenty of other videos coming out. I'm so excited for this year, guys. Like, this setup is sick. I'm getting all riled up.